I wanted to take the time to review a toothbrush. The toothbrush I'm going to review in this video is the Phillips Diamondclean Smart Toothbrush. This is the toothbrush that I'm talking about. This is considered the top-of-the-line toothbrush that Phillips makes. Phillips makes a lot of sonic toothbrushes, but this is considered the best. There are actually three models of this toothbrush, the 9300, the 9500, and the 9700. This one is the 9500, and this toothbrush is considered the top-of-the-line toothbrush, but it's also fairly expensive. The least expensive model, and I will leave a link in the description to where you can get all three of these models, is around $189. Now, the question is this toothbrush really worth it because it's fairly expensive? Is this better than an ordinary toothbrush? And is this a lot better than a sonic toothbrush? Because a lot of people use sonic toothbrushes these days. And before I got this toothbrush, I was using a sonic toothbrush myself. And I can say that definitely in my case, it was definitely worth it to get this toothbrush. It's definitely superior to other sonic toothbrushes. In addition to being an ordinary sonic toothbrush, what this toothbrush does is it's a smart toothbrush. So it connects via Bluetooth to your smartphone, and it works with either an iPhone or an Android phone. All you need to do is download the free app, and you can use this toothbrush with your smartphone when you are brushing your teeth. The smartphone app, and I will demonstrate later in this video how the smartphone app works while you're brushing your teeth with this toothbrush. The smartphone app will show you a diagram of your teeth, and it will show you if you are brushing properly and if you are covering all the areas of your teeth that you need to cover to get a complete clean. And I will say this toothbrush is actually pretty strict, but that's probably a good thing. And not only does it guide you and help you see if you are getting a complete coverage when you are brushing your teeth, but if you don't quite cover all of your teeth as well as you should, it will have you do a touch-up after you brush your teeth to make sure that you do reach all the areas of your mouth while brushing that you need to brush. So in my case, my oral hygiene habits are actually pretty meticulous. I always brush my teeth for 2 minutes per day. I always floss my teeth once a day and sometimes more often. And I also always use a water pick every day. What a water pick is it's also sometimes called a water flosser or an oral irrigator. It's a device that you put water in, and it will shoot out water at a high pressure that lets you clean in between your gums and your teeth. Some dentists actually think that a water pick is superior to ordinary flossing. Most dentists, including my own dentist, don't really believe that, but they do think that a water pick, in addition to brushing and flossing, can enhance your overall oral hygiene. My point is that I was going above and beyond the American Dental Association's recommendations. I would always brush my teeth, like I said, twice a day and floss once a day. And that's what the American Dental Association recommends everyone do. Brush for 2 minutes twice a day and floss once a day. It doesn't necessarily say everybody has to do more than that, although you can use a water pick. But I was doing more than that. I was using a sonic toothbrush. I was flossing sometimes more than once a day, and I was using a water pick. And when I went to get a teeth cleaning, I would usually have a pretty good cleaning, but sometimes my results were less than perfect. During the dental cleaning I got right before I got the Diamondclean toothbrush, they told me that I didn't have any cavities or any major problems, but when they measured the space between my gums and my teeth using a periodontal probe, they did find a few measurements of 4 millimeters. Now, whenever you go and get your teeth cleaned, the hygienist will always measure the space in between your gums and your teeth, and they will take 6 different measurements per tooth, and they use a periodontal probe to do so. Ideally, you don't have any spaces that are deeper than 3 millimeters. Some people don't even notice when the hygienist uses the periodontal probe, but when you hear your hygienist listing off numbers like 322 and someone else is writing them down on a chart, that's when the hygienist is using a periodontal probe to measure the spaces in between your gums and your teeth. Now, like I said, I had a few pockets that were 4 millimeters. However, when I got another dental cleaning after I had been using the Diamondclean toothbrush, I not only didn't have any cavities, but I didn't have any spaces in between my teeth and my gums that measured greater than 3 millimeters, and that is ideal. Now, I will say this, when I had a few pockets that were 4 millimeters, they weren't too worried because they knew that I did have meticulous oral hygiene. And the thing is, 4 millimeters is usually an indication of gingivitis. Gingivitis is the earliest and least serious form of gum disease. It means that your gums are inflamed, but it usually is not an indication that there's been any bone loss. Once you have 5 millimeter pockets, that is generally an indication that you have mild periodontitis. That indicates that there actually has been some bone loss and is more serious. Also, this is a general rule. It's not always the case that, exactly 1 to 3 millimeters is perfectly healthy, or that 4 millimeters means gingivitis, or that 5 millimeters or more means periodontitis. But that is a general rule, although there are other ways to determine whether someone has gum disease as well. Like if you have areas where the measurement is no deeper than 3 millimeters, but there's a lot of bleeding, that might be a sign of gum disease. But typically speaking, when you have measurements of 3 or less, that means that your gums are healthy. And in my case, I wasn't having any bleeding or anything like that. In my opinion, there were 2 main factors that caused this improvement with the new toothbrush. First of all, as I said earlier, the toothbrush has a smartphone app that helps you make sure you brush in all the places that you need to brush to get a complete clean. And even when you're brushing your teeth and you think you're getting a complete clean, sometimes it is easy to miss a spot or to not brush an area as thoroughly as you should. And like I said before, this smartphone app is very strict in making sure that you do that. The other reason I think my oral health improved is because when I first started using this toothbrush, it kept telling me that I was pressing too hard. Now, I knew that you weren't supposed to press too hard when brushing, and I really didn't think that I was pressing too hard, but several times it would tell me that I was pressing too hard. And it tells you not just on the smartphone app, but if you're pressing too hard, it'll beep, the light at the bottom will flash. And after a while, I got used to the right pressure, and now it usually doesn't tell me that I'm pressing too hard, except every once in a while. It might catch me pressing a little too hard by accident, and it'll beep, and I will stop doing it pretty much immediately. And that really does increase the quality of your brushing because it means that a lot more plaque is removed effectively, and it means that the brush head does not wear out as quickly. In fact, this toothbrush will tell you about all sorts of things that you might be doing wrong while brushing. If you are moving the toothbrush too fast, it'll tell you so you can stop. If you are moving it back and forth, which you're not supposed to do with a sonic toothbrush, it'll tell you so you can stop. Another cool aspect is it tells you pretty precisely when you need to get replacement brush heads. The brush heads each have a chip in them, and data is stored based on how much you use it and how much pressure you apply, and so it can pretty accurately tell you how many sessions you have left per brush head and when you need to replace it. So I said that I would give you a demonstration of what happens when you brush your teeth using the Diamondclean smartphone app. So this is what the smartphone app shows you when you are brushing your teeth. As you can see, it times me for 2 minutes. Now, I set this to clean mode. This toothbrush actually has 5 different modes. Those modes are Clean, White Plus, Gum Health, Deep Clean Plus, and Tongue Care. The first 4 modes are for brushing your teeth, and the Tongue Care mode is for cleaning your tongue using the tongue cleaning head. Now, all the other modes besides Clean mode and Tongue Care mode take longer than 2 minutes, and I have found that it's not necessary for me to use anything besides Clean mode. However, if you have had things like gum disease problems, it might be useful to use some of the other modes like gum health mode every once in a while at least. So as you can see, this app guides you by dividing your teeth into 6 different groups and having you spend about 20 seconds on each of the 6 different groups. As you can see, the white line is where the toothbrush is brushing, and the teeth turn white as they become clean. Now, if you need to do touch-ups at the end of this, it will show the area where it wants you to do a touch-up in yellow, and then it will have you go back and brush that extra area. I find that brushing in the same side, either the tongue side or the lip side, 2 or 3 times before I switch sides helps avoid having to do a touch-up. But if you have to do a touch-up, it's no big deal. It's not the end of the world. What really matters is if you get a complete clean, and you can definitely get a complete clean once you do the touch-up if you didn't do it properly. Now, here you can see that it's going to say complete clean, meaning that I have given adequate coverage to all of my teeth while brushing. So here we go. Complete clean with a check mark. So in conclusion, I definitely feel that this toothbrush is worth it, especially if you're using a manual toothbrush. This toothbrush is capable of removing 10 times as much plaque as a manual toothbrush. But I also think it's worth it if you are like me and you're already using a sonic toothbrush, especially if you're like me and you still aren't getting perfect results when you go to dental cleanings. And like I said before, they weren't too worried about the few 4 pockets that I had, but it is ideal to have the spaces in between your teeth and your gums measure no more than 3 millimeters deep, and that's what happened after I got this toothbrush and started using it. And a sonic toothbrush is considered superior to a manual toothbrush because with a manual toothbrush, they tell you to brush back and forth. With a sonic toothbrush, they don't. And that's because at least this particular sonic toothbrush vibrates at a rate of 31,000 brush strokes per minute. And with a manual toothbrush, there's no way that you can possibly do 31,000 brush strokes per minute. And therefore, sonic toothbrushes allow you to remove a lot more plaque than normal toothbrushes do. However, how much more plaque they remove does vary. Other sonic toothbrushes will remove anywhere from twice as much plaque to 7 times as much plaque as an ordinary toothbrush does, but this one removes 10 times as much plaque as an ordinary toothbrush does. Also, it comes in 3 models. The 9300 is the least expensive. The 9300 comes with 3 brush heads, and the 9500, which I have, has everything that the 9300 has, but it also has a travel case. The 9300 comes with a travel case, but the 9500 comes with a travel case that also has USB charging so that you can use your laptop while you're traveling to charge it. But it also has the tongue head and the tongue cleaning mode, which the 9300 doesn't have. Now, I do use the tongue cleaning head once a day, and it only takes 20 seconds a day, so it's not a big hassle. Tongue cleaning from a dental standpoint is typically not considered as important as brushing or flossing. However, plaque does develop on your tongue, and that can affect your overall oral hygiene, and it also can affect your overall health, since there's a lot of evidence that the kind of plaque that develops on your teeth that causes cavities and can also grow on your tongue can affect your overall health as well, not just the health of your mouth. So I do recommend the 9500 at least because that has the added tongue cleaning mode in addition to being able to use USB charging in the travel case. Now, the 9700 has everything that the 9500 has, but it includes 2 of each of the brush heads instead of 1 like the 9500 does. I think you probably would overall save money if you got the 9700, as the cost of purchasing the 9500 and then having to buy the additional 4 replacement heads when you need to replace them would be more than just getting the 9700 with the extra 4 heads. The blue rubber head pictured all the way to the right is the tongue cleaning head, and it should show two of those because if this is the 9700, it would come with two of those. But otherwise, the 9700 is pretty much the same as the 9500. It just comes with two of all the brush heads and the tongue cleaning head, whereas the 9500 comes with just one of each of those brush heads and the tongue cleaning head. Also, the 9700 is the only one that comes in the color Lunar Blue. All three of the Diamondclean Smart toothbrushes do have the Bluetooth connectivity to the smartphone app. There is also a Phillips Diamondclean toothbrush that is not the Diamondclean Smart toothbrush. That toothbrush does not link via Bluetooth to a smartphone. However, all of the toothbrushes that I will link to in the description are the Diamondclean Smart toothbrushes, and they are all capable of connecting to your smartphone while you're brushing, which really does make a big difference. So if you like this video, go ahead and give it a like, and if you haven't already, subscribe to my channel, click the bell icon for notifications, join the Zork Army, and together we shall take over the world. I upload 5 videos a month. You can also catch me on Twitter, Instagram, and Snapchat at ZorkMid123.